actor, not only in this, but also became a complete second career arc for the guy.
We were pretty confident that he would succeed, that he'd be great in Airplane. Like all those guys, if they just played it straight. Actually, what we used to tell them is, don't play it straight. Pretend that you don't even know you're in a comedy, and oblivious to the fact that this is a funny film. We knew they had the ability to do this because we had seen them do it before in serious movies. I mean, that play those roles just the way we needed to have them play it. But it's just a matter would they take direction. But I don't think we realized until after the movie how gifted Leslie was. His timing is impeccable, and of course on the set he was a cut-up. He famously had this fart machine that he would bring on the set, and there's a lot about that in the book, and he would just always have it with him, and he loved the idea of wearing a suit and tie and being this very serious-looking, straight guy, and farting in front of people, and waiting for their reactions.
One of the endearing things, believe it or not, about Airplane, and of course all we ever wanted to do, we were shooting for, you don't have to take things so seriously. But when each of those guys signed up to do the movie, they were all poking fun at their own careers and their own images. And so one of sort of an endearing aspect of Airplane is they were willing to have laughs at their own expense. And I think that's kind of a wonderful tone.
As you guys were cutting your teeth as writer-directors, and the first one would have been Kentucky Fried Movie, which is absolutely hilarious and just so granular in its parody of Enter the Dragon movie. I've seen a million times. But as you were making your way, what comedy came along and you guys watched it and you thought, you know what, that is the high bar. Are we ever going to be able to play in that sandbox?
Well, I mean, there were no comedies, like we did that we looked up to and thought we can't do that. I mean, there were wonderful movies by Woody Allen who did Annie Hall. But that's an orange. We're an apple, so you can't compare it. But and maybe we thought we'd love to do a movie, like that something. But really, I think that was outside of our expertise, and we just wanted to do the best thing.
We always felt like we had a unique take on our sense of humor. Had a specific thing, and particularly when we started writing Airplane, the idea of doing it with those straight actors, that was the whole vision, really, or 80% of the vision of the film. And so we never saw a movie that, a comedy that we thought would have an, be better or not allow us to go forward and do that.
So back to the fart machine. So here you have Julie Haggerty, and talk about what Leslie used to do to her with his little fart machine, which I was trying to imagine exactly what it was that he did, but it wasn't like a whole contraption, was it? But what did he used to do to her?
I mean, we really heard about this when we read the book. Because Julie did this interview, and we didn't know about that. We didn't know about her cross-country trip with Steve Stucker. What we did know about was that Bob Hayes was having a lot of trouble keeping a straight face because he would be doing one of his straight lines and Leslie would be the fart machine. So, go ahead.
In fact, Leslie, what he was doing to Julie, he was doing to everybody. It wasn't just. He didn't. Nobody was left out.
Yeah. One time we were doing an interview on live TV with Leslie, and he had his fart machine with him. And right during the middle of the answer, live TV. Of course, the interviewer had no clue what he did, but he would let off a fart during the interview.
Or, or as I read, he would say to Julie, "Oh, Julie," which must have been mortifying for her. So now you took a chance on these very serious actors, and you mentioned, for instance, Vincent Price.
We went to Vincent Price for the doctor. This was one of the 4 people who passed on the movie before Leslie came around. And he just passed for whatever reason, but then in his obituary, he said his biggest career regret was not taking the airplane.
And interestingly, we went to Charlton Heston for virtually every parody we worked on.
Yeah.
And in his obituary, he said, "I'm so glad I didn't make those movies."
Yeah, so
Really?
that had a
No, I'm lying.
Thank God I didn't make that film.
It is interesting that guys like Jack Webb and Charlton Heston would appear on the Tonight Show doing comedy sketches with Johnny Carson and like reading poetry and stuff. And, so it's not that they didn't like comedy. I think they just didn't trust us, and we made the mistake of reading script.
And we did actually go to Charlton Heston. He just didn't celebrate the fact that he said no.
Now, whether it was a success of yours or approval from someone who mattered to you, what first gave you the confidence that this style would work and that you did belong as filmmakers in Hollywood?
Well, we were reduced to our live show. We had audiences every week for
If you want to send some stuff to me so I can check out what you have sent, please send it to this exact address. However, you may only send some stuff that I am interested in. No airplane, okay? Because if you send something like this, I will make sure that I will tell you that I do not like this film at all. Unless if you would send me that Zucker Abraham Zucker free film collection set that I'm gonna get for top secret, well, you can probably tell that I'm not gonna get it for Airplane, I'm not gonna get it for Naked Gun, I'm only getting it just for top secret. However, I do think that you should send the set as a whole because, let's face it, it's a big deal. So make sure you send stuff like this, or this, or this, or this. And yes, even Airplane 2 the sequel. Oh, and get this, a special collector's edition of Twister, complete with a steelbook that features not only the secondary poster artwork, but the image of the pipe scene on the back. Heck yeah, I'm getting this. Well, actually, we do have the double feature set, which consists of Twister and Twister, so we're pretty dang close. And also Airplane 2 the sequel, which had this cover. Just look at those nuts! I can't keep up with them all! And even the one in the original theatrical poster! Like, look at it! And just look at this poster for the worst film of all time! I mean, come on, do they really need to tie that plane up into another? I mean, that part never actually happened in the film! I mean, they clearly just used a toy model plane! Like, come on, really? And yes, this is what the plane actually looks like in the film. And here's another image of that same goddamn plane model, also from the film. God damn it, I hate this film. And its different titles, like this one known as Flying High, but I would refer to the film with this title. I just hated it so much. So make sure you send in to this address, and I hope to God I will look at them. And in the words of the good old immortal named Connor McLeod,
there can be only